Don't Shoot, We Are Republicans. That's the name of the book. It was written by a man who spent 30 years working at the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Jack Owens is here to tell us about his book and being a G-man.
I was a G-man for 30 years, 29 in Birmingham and a year in Denver. The title of my book is actually a quote from an FBI roadblock in rural Talladega County.
I was about to ask you where it came from.
Not far from the Big Oval. And it was late at night, and we were waiting on a bad guy to drive into our roadblock, and he did. He obliged us, said he'd never be taken alive. He was taken alive. We handcuffed him, but there was a car right behind his car. We rushed that car with shotguns and headlights blazing, threw open the doors, the dome light came on, and in the front seat, Danny, were two well-dressed, elderly ladies who threw up their hands and said, "Don't shoot, we're Republicans."
Oh, goodness. So, that is really honest to goodness what they said?
It happened in 1983, and the 8 agents still laugh about that. I filed that quote away. I said, I'm going to use that quote one day. And I did.
Making good use of it.
Oh, thank you. It's a labor of love. I retired from the FBI in 1999 to write. I've been published in various magazines, including Alabama Heritage here on campus, and I've also had my memoir published by History Publishing Company in New York, and it was terrific career being in the Bureau. I never wanted to leave and practice law. I graduated from the University of Alabama School of Law in 1969, became an agent, and never left, made a career out of it. Right
here in our state?
Yes.
So you're sort of the Fox Mulder of Alabama.
Yes, I am, well put. Yes.
And it says here underneath, the FBI agent who did things his way.
Yes.
His way. Talk to me about doing things your way.
Well, on one occasion, a fugitive in Leeds, a federal fugitive, was outrunning me. I never was able to catch him. I would take agents up in the hollows. We would miss him. So one Saturday morning, by myself, I took my 1964 Volkswagen Bug with the sunroof back and one headlight not working.
Is that a Super Beetle, a 64?
It was a regular one.
The regular Beetle,
so
okay.
Put. And I drove it quietly at sunup into the Leeds hollows, and the dogs didn't bark and the neighbors didn't wake. And I drove right up to his place, and I went in the house, and he was asleep, and I leaned over and I said, "You're under arrest." And I smelled these great collard greens, and I said, "What's that smell?" He said, "I just made them. You want some?" So I said, "Let's call a timeout to the arrest."
Oh, good.
So we ate breakfast together, had collard greens and milk, and I said, "Well, let's resume the arrest." And I put handcuffs on him, and I drove him to the Jefferson County Jail in Birmingham. He said, the dogs didn't bark. The FBI didn't play fair.
There you go. He was counting on his dogs.
Yes, he was.
That was very nice of you and him. He offered you breakfast, and you allowed him to eat it before you took him to jail.
I did. I've always had that side to me. And when I was driving him in my Volkswagen into Birmingham from Leeds, going about 50 miles an hour up the Bankhead Highway.
Which is about as fast as you're going to do.
About as fast as I'm going to do.
Your Volkswagen.
And he said, Agent Owens, I could just open this door and roll out of this car. I said, go ahead. 50 miles an hour, go ahead.
Save the taxpayers some money.
Yes, he laughed and did not open the door.
I'm sure he did. All right. And more great anecdotes like that are all through the book.
Yes, they're in the book.
All right. Jack, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
The name of the book is Don't Shoot, We're Republicans. It's the true story of the FBI agent who did things his way. It's written by Jack Owens. You can find it online at Amazon.com, Barnes & Nobles, and bookstores in our area.